Hi, I'm Catherine Diorio, and welcome to Check Please, the show where regular people from all over Chicago recommend and review their favorite restaurants. So this is how the show works. Every week, we have 3 guests. Each recommends his or her favorite spot, and the other 2 go check them out and tell us what they think. This week, quality manager Jose Martinez says the food at his favorite spot is always top-notch. He says for the most sensational Spanish tapas around, take a peek at his #1 pick. But Co-op Executive Director Cheryl Munoz says there's only one place she goes for the best seasonal cuisine in town. She says for fresh flavors with an organic flair, you've got to stop in at her selection. Up first, digital producer Ernest Wilkins says he knows a thing or two about Chicago restaurants, and his place is definitely one of a kind. He says for a cozy atmosphere and some decadent diner food. Follow him to Randolph Street and stop in at Au Cheval.
It's very much like theater or cinema. You know, I think that creating these little worlds, and we talk about that a lot. When you step inside, what happens? What does it feel like? How does it sound? How's the lighting? From there, I think that everything is in the food and drink for me. The actual product that we're serving is first and foremost. But if it's put in the wrong room, on the wrong, on the wrong stage, if you will, you can really hurt it. I want them to get lost in it. This restaurant is really about just like casual enjoyment and kind of leaving the world behind you and walking in and being caught up in this unique, wonderful experience. I would call Chicago Diner, well, myself included, since I live in Chicago, I think we're in a great position. I think that, with just everything that's going on in Chicago, I would call the Chicago Diner lucky. They're in the right place at the right time, for sure.
Ernest, you say Au Cheval has it all.
Yes.
Why'd you choose it?
I chose it because it is a perfect mix of high and low culture. It's like a perfect example of what Chicago should look like. You have things like bologna sandwiches, which you wouldn't think are fine dining items, but Au Cheval goes above and beyond to make them a class of their own. I love that place, and I recommend it and scream it from the rooftops,
So what else besides bologna sandwiches can you get there?
Oh my goodness, everything. So they have really decadent brunch, but they also have things like the cheeseburger, which I think everybody has heard of by this point. I think it might be the best cheeseburger I've ever had. So you get the burger with the bacon, and then you get the fried egg on top. You cut it, and it's just, it's this whole big thing. And
that's good.
Holy moly, it's delicious. So you got that. They have this really great hash that they make with hash browns and duck gravy. Crazy, it's decadent. You're probably gonna want to go to sleep afterward, but that means you're doing it right,
Right.
So, yeah, for sure. They have a really nice bratwurst, and just really, weirdly enough, good fried chicken.
Sounds very meat-centric.
Oh yeah.
So Cheryl, what'd you think?
I'll agree with you that it was decadent. I thought it was a little over the top though. I had a great time. I met my husband there for lunch, so we didn't have the wait that everyone talks about. Everybody was really friendly. Everyone was having a great time. So I get it. I get why you like it. But I really wish I'd ordered a salad. It was so heavy. So I ordered the fried chicken because that seemed like the thing to get there. But I just thought, well, I don't know if the quality was that great. It was just this big pile of fried chicken with no sides. I want some sides. I want something fresh and crispy. The burger was fantastic though. I saw someone with marrow.
Yeah, they have a really
That was so cool. But it was just like, there's one green thing in this whole place, and it's making me nervous. All these beautiful people need some greens.
So when you go to a diner, do you expect to find vegetables? Is that something you would normally expect to see on a diner menu?
Yeah, I think diner menus usually have a really diverse selection. I want something bright and spicy. I want something
some
kind
acid
of
to cut
crisp
through it.
Yeah, so I kept wanting to drink more and more wine because that was the only plant-based thing around me to wash down this burger. It just kind of had one note. They did well at one thing, and that's what they were going to keep doing. So.
Decadent's a perfect word for it because it's not too many healthy options there, which is a good, for me, you can tell it's not going to be a problem. But, I'm a big fan of Maud's Liquor Bar right down the street, and I'm a big fan of Bavette's too. And those menus are all really decadent. I've been wanting to go to this place for a while, but been scared of the wait. So I tried to hit this place on a Wednesday. and it was a 2-hour wait at
Which
about
is pretty
6:30
standard.
on a Wednesday night, on a work night.
Well, pro
Dinner
tip with
time.
that though,
Right.
if you go at 5, no problem.
So you have to take off work early?
Or you work early, or
Do you think that there's a little bit of that fear of missing out, or FOMO, as everyone's saying, that
Yes.
if they don't have the Au Cheval burger, they're almost going to be like a pariah in the like foodie community?
Yeah, I think that might have something to do with it. I mean, the hype is certainly there to
yeah.
wait for 2.5 hours for burgers.
And it is a lot of FOMO, like you were talking about. I think that is something that has gotten to the point of you have to try it if you're in the know in Chicago. Yeah.
So the owner, Brendan Sodikoff, I mean, he is basically opening a new restaurant concept every few months, it seems. So he has Bavette's, Maud's Liquor Bar, Green Street Smoked Meats. So he's kind of the white hot restaurateur of the moment. Right. So I guess maybe that makes sense why Au Cheval is one of these you have to stop there places.
Going back to the menu, yeah, I had bacon, the sausage, the burger, the bologna sandwich. I was excited to see that on the menu. My family had a restaurant. We were growing up. We would get the bologna sandwiches. The portion was awesome. I mean, it is a pile of bologna. And if you love bologna, this is a place to go. Okay, because you're going to get a lot of bologna. But it needed texture. So maybe like a Parmesan crisp in there would have given it a little bit of crunch.
So Cheryl, aside from the food, what was the atmosphere like? Did you have a good time?
I had a great time. Sat with my husband at the bar, and so we got to watch the chefs doing their thing. And I think it's like a 16-foot run that they have to cook all of this food. And so it felt like a fun place to be.
You're right, it's fun. Even when it's at lunchtime crowd.
Yeah, lunchtime was
people
fun.
I mean, if you're gonna be kind of smushed up against each other, you want to have a conversation, say, hey, I know I'm like on your leg here, but let's have a beer.
But you are spushed up
Yeah.
against each other in that place.
Yeah,
And
that's-
the table I went with a date, and we had the furthest table away from everybody, right in the corner. Somehow I got the trick chair. So this was like the ricketiest. I mean, it was a rickety chair, and I'm not a small guy, so I was holding on to the wall while
eating.
And
like
then as soon as I saw the opportunity to switch chairs, I took advantage of that
sure.
situation.
Yeah.
It's a really good date place.
Yeah.
All the couples had their pair of burgers, in front of them.
It's a great date spot because it's one of those places where you have to eat ugly. You guys ever heard this term before? You got to eat a little ugly.
Yeah, we
You
were
can't
getting
be-
ugly. I had the 2 towels with the chicken.
they bring out the hot towel for you.
Forget
to
the
wipe your hands
towels. I
off.
was just licking it.
Me and my date crash knuckles going after the bacon.
Yeah.
That's
so-
romantic.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ernest, you chose Au Cheval. Sum it up for us.
Fun diner experience with a bit of class. Recommended.
Cheryl?
I wouldn't wait 2.5 hours, and I might go have a salad beforehand.
Great. And Jose?
If you got a little bit of time on your hands, go for the bacon, go for the bratwurst.
You can try the burger and more at Au Cheval, 800 West Randolph, 312-929-4580. Open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are not accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $20. Jose Martinez says whether he's going on a first date or going out with the boys, there's only one spot that never fails to impress. He says for the perfect place for any occasion, head to the South Loop and meet him at Tapas, Valencia.
The colors and the atmosphere when you first walk in, it doesn't feel stuffy. So right away you're relaxed and you're comfortable. Here you order a variety of different dishes and you share. And the signature dish is the garlic potato salad. We are known for our tomato goat cheese, queso de cabra, pincho de solomillo, which is beef brochettes. There are stuffed mushrooms, Our paellas are great, but the list goes on and on. I love it because it's me. It doesn't feel like work. This is like my second home. I like them to be happy with their experience. That's the most important thing, that they feel that for the money that they spent, they got a good value.
Jose, you say Tapas Valencia is a real treat. Tell us why you chose it.
Tapas Valencia, I live in Chicago, not too far from downtown. So Chicago has many tapas options, you know. But this place, being in the South Loop, is a great option for me. It's close to my house. It's really convenient with regard to valet. It's and the food is fresh. It's great. It's got a great selection. You can go there for dinner. You can go there just for drinks and dessert. I've taken people from out of town. I'll go there on dates. I'll go with family. So, and depending on your taste or you know, your dietary preferences, it's got a little bit of everything. Being a small plate option, you could share, you could try different things without breaking the bank.
What are some of the can't miss dishes you think people should try?
Well, I'm obviously not a big fish eater, but I love their tilapia. I go there for that. The skirt steak is also a can't miss there too. The faldilla right there, and also the stuffed mushrooms, the champiñones. I'm not really a big dessert fan, and their desserts there are incredible as well. My favorite is the tarta de pera, the pear tart there. So you know, definitely hit that. If you didn't get it next time.
Yeah.
Well, what did you think, Ernest?
I thought it was good. I definitely went with a bunch of guys, and I was nervous because tapas usually isn't enough food for me. But holy mackerel, they killed it. There was so much stuff that was good and hearty, and there were vegetables, you know, we enjoyed ourselves. But the stuff was good and like sufficiently good. But there was nothing about it that was like, oh man, this is, you know, worth traveling about. I think there's something to be said about that, but I did like it though. I don't know.
Do you think tapas ever change your life?
Nope. Nope. And maybe that's the issue with tapas, is just that you know what you're kind of getting. So I guess it's a case of managing your expectations.
Do you think tapas is more about the actual community that you have with the people you're dining with and kind of that feel?
Yeah, I think it lives and dies by that. I think if you can't, I mean, you can, but why would you go to a tapas place by yourself? You know, it's kind of like, you know, these little plates or whatever. And actually, we were talking about it as we left. We wish we had sat at the bar because we'd still be close to each other, but the vibe was so cool with the bartenders and people that we were seeing, like laughing genuinely with the customers. It was like, oh, okay, we should have did that, but you know.
Cheryl, what'd you think?
I had a great time. So I went with my husband, and we had honeymooned in Barcelona. So I don't say we're tapas experts, but we really love tapas, and we were not disappointed. From the moment we walked in, the whole staff, the whole place was beautiful. These big murals, like Juan Miró murals, everywhere. It was just amazing. And they honored our reservation. We actually did go on a Saturday night when they have flamenco dancing and music. And so we got this cute little booth right next to their little stage, really little stage. And so, yeah, we got to listen to music and eat our way through the menu. We started with olives, so there's olives on the table when you're seated. And that was just the perfect beginning because they taste like Spain. One of our favorite tapas was jamón de serrano, so that was, you know, just really authentic. I mean, there's nothing like special about it, but it tastes like Spain to me.
It just kind of, so when you see that on the menu, you're just like, oh, you know, because when you're in Spain, there's all like the House of Jamón on like every corner.
Yeah. So we enjoyed that. I think one of my favorite things, though, was a vegetable dish. Salteados. Do you remember the word salteados?
Oh, no, I'm not a big vegetable.
Okay. You would love it. It's so just a really beautiful tomato sauce with zucchini and yellow squash, lots of garlic and fresh herbs. So a lot like ratatouille, but the Spanish version of it. I loved it. And of course, we had the tenderloin with the cabrales cheese sauce, which was so good, so good. So we ate really well. And the service from the time we arrived to the time we left was impeccable.
I'll co-sign that. The service was amazing.
Service was so good.
And they have lots of different seating options there too. They've got some two-seater face-to-face seats there by the window. They also, if you have a large group, they can really seat you comfortably there. They have a great bar area there.
And they also have some specials up at the bar, so
Yes.
you can get for $2 or $3, kind of get little pinchos, kind of like small bite-sized ones with a glass of wine.
We got the sangria,
Yes.
and
I get it.
we got red and white because why choose? You can have both. Sure. I mean, I will say theirs was delicious, but I mean there wasn't much booze in it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a lush.
Mental note. Ernest wants more booze.
He has a
Well,
great.
Cheryl, you have a background in wine. I mean, you sold wine. So what did you think of the wine list there and the options?
The wine list was beautiful, all Spanish, really. I think they had a couple champagnes on the list. But when I eat tapas, I just want cava. I want sparkling wine. I think it helps me kind of like keep my palate fresh. And so yeah, I got a little bubbly and got a little giggly. And my husband did the driving that night. So we didn't even go the sangria route, too much sugar.
Well, Jose, you chose Tapas Valencia. Sum it up for us.
Great food, and Spain in the South Loop.
Great. Cheryl?
A wonderful place to go and relax with really good food, really great wine list, just a really nice atmosphere.
Great. Ernest?
Good food, good location, good looking people. Not worth a crazy drive though.
You can try all the tapas for yourself at Tapas Valencia, 1530 South State, 312-842-4444. Open for dinner every day and also for brunch on Sunday. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is $25. Is in the business of keeping things fresh, and that's why she absolutely loves her selection. She says for the true farm-to-table experience, leave your city shoes at home and head over to Autre Monde.
Autre Monde to us really meant to create a transportive experience where people feel that they're in another world when they're here. One of our chef partners, Beth Partridge, and I started working together years ago at a restaurant called Tutto Posto. And we've all kind of woven our careers with Tony Mantuano at some point in time. So picking up Dan along the way at Mantuano and eventually John at Spiaggia, and we're both couples, and then we all came back together to work here.
Autre Monde means another world, translated into French. We tap into the wells of everything that we've had the experience of being part of. So whether it's wines from Croatia, or if it's one of the dishes that Beth and Dan brought back from Spain, and that kind of translates into the name. It's another world.
We've been so fortunate. The best thing for us here, I think, is that it is a neighborhood place, and we've gotten to really be a fabric of the neighborhood and become part of that fabric. Getting to work with great friends and a fantastic staff that's been really loyal to us for a long time. It's a really nice way to come to work every day.
Cheryl, you say that Autre Monde is the perfect escape. Tell us why you chose it.
You know, I went there because it's near where I live. It's in Berwyn, and I live in Oak Park. But I was so pleasantly surprised. My first visit, the quality of the food, the freshness of the ingredients, the simple preparation, the wine list, the decor, everything was just amazing. And so I've been going back ever since.
My parents are from near where you actually are. And it's kind of an unusual type restaurant for that area.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of family-friendly restaurants in the area. Some people would say that Autre Monde is fine dining. I don't know, I think we need to classify it somehow differently because it doesn't feel stuffy at all. It feels like a neighborhood place, which is really high quality food.
Yeah, it's fine dining quality food in a casual atmosphere. And I couldn't believe I was in Berwyn. Actually, once I was inside, but the value is great. I mean, I thought it's a little pricey, but I think you don't really have sticker shock after you've eaten the meal.
Okay.
You know, and it's such a variety of options, all Mediterranean options there too. So I thought it was a fabulous place.
See, it's funny that you mentioned it was casual. I kind of got the vibe when I walked in that it was like, oh crap, this is going to be way more expensive than I thought it was going to be. And we definitely did not have that sticker shock. I was very calm. I think that's kind of an oasis as far as, you go, like, we're on a Berwyn, like, okay, sure, you know, but it was fun. I think that the food was really good. I mean, there's definitely some things that, like, I had this crazy pasta with like scallops in it and shrimp.
I had that too.
Yeah. Oh my God,
It's
that was
homemade.
amazing. Yeah.
Homemade tagliatelle.
Yeah.
Rock shrimp, scallops, sweet pea sauce.
Yes. I had
So
that.
good.
And I had a blood orange gimlet.
I had that too.
Yeah.
Were you my date?
Yes. Yes, I was. Surprise. I guess I didn't make that much of an impact.
So Cheryl, you are the executive director, the co-op executive director, so farm to table is obviously very important to you and organic. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the food and what they're doing over at Autre Monde?
So they have these really beautiful little salad greens, microgreens in a lot of the dishes you'll notice. Those all come from just like 6 blocks away at this vertical farm called Urban Till. And a lot of the food too is actually sourced from a farm in Ohio that the chef's family runs. There's also a little greenhouse in the back patio. They call it Raffi. And so some of their herbs and microgreens also come from that space as well.
Well, and even their wine list has a lot of wines that are organic or biodynamic and you know, which you don't always see. So what are some of the dishes that you would recommend?
The bar board is so good. So it's this plank with all kinds of different salamis, cheeses, pickles that they make in-house. The last time I was there, I had the porchetta, which is one of their specialties.
I love
it was so good. My husband actually did this like little dance. Like, oh my gosh. There's a hazelnut pâte de crème that is awesome. It's delicious. It's just probably one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. So.
Well, I went with one of my college buddies, big guy, so that place was a little dainty for 2 big guys that were be rolling in. So, but we took a crack at that menu. It's shared plates or kind of small plates. So we actually had the octopus.
I had that too.
It was awesome. That sauce. And I was tempted.
You can't take that off the menu. That's one of their dishes that they said will never leave the menu.
That's what I'm trying next.
And actually, right before we had that, we had the pinchos. We had the pork belly pinchos.
That is so good.
So and I was not going to share my pincho, so we ordered 2. You know,
You shall take my
Double down on the
pinchos.
pork belly pinchos.
Yeah, the server said, well, there's 2 pieces. I'm like, that could be 10 pieces on there. I mean, we are not going to share. I was a little bit disappointed with the mussels.
Okay.
These were micro mussels. I mean, these were like dime-sized little mussels.
Really?
Smallest mussels I've ever seen ever. But
Was it the size of the flavor that bothered you?
there was something about the sauce that didn't really sit well with me. I'm not sure what it was. After that, my friend had some pasta. He had the gnocchi, and I had the porchetta. After that, I was like at capacity, but I still went on, and I had cinnamon cake for dessert, which was amazing. And I felt like I was in Lincoln Square. I felt like I was like in Ravenswood. I felt like I was in Bucktown. I mean,
That's a really good point.
I don't want to say anything bad about Berwyn, but you're not in Berwyn anymore. Almost.
No, seriously, like that. I mean, that's 100% the case.
So who would you take there?
Dates. I take dates.
Okay.
I take
And why
my
is that?
mom. I think it's just because it kind of lends itself more towards, I got that fine dining feel. And I think that if you have, you know, your knucklehead friend who just wants a burger and a beer, that's not the place to go do it.
Well, Cheryl, you chose Autre Monde. Sum it up for us.
Just top quality ingredients in a really beautiful, relaxed kind of neighborhood atmosphere. Well prepared dishes that don't disappoint.
Great. And Jose?
It's a great value, delicious food in Berwyn. Makes you feel like you're in Lincoln Square.
Awesome. And Ernest?
Suburban, good. A little out of the way, but good date spot.
You can try the porchetta and more at Autre Monde, 6727 West Roosevelt, 708-775-8122. Open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday and also open for brunch on Sunday. Reservations are accepted for dinner, and the average tab per person without drinks is $40. So on this week's show, we featured Cheval on the Near West Side, Tapas Valencia in South Loop, and Autre Monde in Berwyn. Let's recap what our guests had to say. First, we ran to Randolph and ate at Cheval. Ernest recommends it for delicious, decadent cuisine with a perfect vibe. Jose liked the food overall, but was not excited about the 2-hour wait to get in. Cheryl wasn't pleased with the cuisine, but liked the atmosphere. Next, we stopped on State Street and tested out Tapas Valencia. Jose recommends it for one of the best tapas menus in the city. Ernest liked the food and atmosphere. Cheryl said everything from the service to the food to the atmosphere was amazing. Lastly, we made it to Berwyn and checked out Autre Monde. Cheryl recommends it for fresh, quality cuisine with a neighborhood atmosphere. Jose said it was a fabulous place and would definitely return. Ernest thought it was an oasis with tasty cuisine. We had an awesome time this week. I want to thank my guests, Ernest Wilkins, Jose Martinez, and Cheryl Munoz. Join us next week for 3 new guests recommending 3 of their favorite restaurants right here on Check Please. I'm Catherine Diorio, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
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 Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
For more information about the restaurants featured on Check Please, go to WTTW.com/checkplease.